Hey, what's up everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, coming at you with another video. Thank you guys very much for taking time out to check it out. I really appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe button because I would appreciate that as well. And check out Xbox Nation Podcast. We did that last night. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. And we talked about a lot of stuff in gaming, and I would really appreciate it if you guys check it out and give it a like, and make sure you guys tune in. It's every Wednesday at 8. So we have a good time with it. You know, we bring in GKB, She-Wolf, Hellhammer. We had some special guests and things like that. Fox and Scrotum making his debut. Never done a podcast before. I thought he handled himself pretty well. So anyway, I want to move on to today's topic, and that is, I'm sure I'll get bashed in the comment section for quote-unquote damage controlling, but at least hear me out no matter which side you're on with this. Uncharted 4, according to Sony, has sold through 8.7 million copies worldwide. Impressive feat to be sure. It's probably their best franchise, well, that and God of War, in my opinion. So I think that that's great. They also said that they had sold 53 million PS4s. Now, CES, this is typically where Sony does a lot of their bragging and things like that, so that's very understandable. I completely get it. They're going to talk up what they've done because that's what investors like to hear. It really helps with the consumer confidence and things like that. So, but before you jump all over this 8.7 million sold deal, right, you have to remember that what they're doing is they're counting everything that was bundled as well. And then take a look back at this last holiday, because they're saying they sold over 6 million PS4s over the holiday period. That's a really good number, but we also have to remember that Sony barely won the NPD in November here, which is the biggest market for console sales by 100,000. So Microsoft was right on their heels with whatever they sold. The problem is that Microsoft had multiple bundles and multiple SKUs. Sony was selling the PS4 Pro or the PS4 Slim. The only bundle that they had was the Uncharted bundle. So a lot of the bundles that they were selling were strictly the Uncharted 4 bundle. And so the fact that they're counting the Uncharted 4 bundle in this makes a lot of sense when you look at these numbers. So it's probably not as impressive as they'd like, although I'm sure that it still sold pretty well. The last numbers that we had, which was like, what, a week or two after the launch of the game, and then when you look at it and they're like, well, we sold over 6 million consoles over the holiday, and then you only see basically the one bundle, then it's easy to say, well, you know, there's probably a good 4 to 5 million copies that were included in those bundles that they're counting that aren't actually paid for, and they don't actually count towards the NPD. Because if you look at the PSN store, it's not on the most popular list or whatever right now. So the fact that so many people got it, I mean, I understand why it's in there, but a lot of people are going absolutely insane with this, acting like it's the best thing ever, or that, you know, it's amazing, or, you know, I've already got comments like, wow, it outsold Gears, or it outsold Halo, and I'm like, how do you even know? I mean, I'm sure that it outsold Gears because, you know, Gears obviously was a success, but it wasn't like, you know, a 10 million out the gate success, you know, and it also just came out in October and we're only in January, so obviously there's going to be a little bit of a difference there. And then as far as Halo, we've never got any numbers outside of 5 million in the first 3 months, and it'd be probably safe to assume that they're probably close to 10 million now with that. It's been discounted. You could have picked it up over the holidays for $20 on Xbox Live, so I think it's kind of an unfair thing. And what happens is, you know, Sony announces their numbers, and then people don't have numbers to go by on Microsoft, so it's easy to sit there and go back to like 2014 early, like right before Phil took over, and they're like, well, we sold this many, and that's where that whole number comes from, where people still think, well, there's only 10 million or 12 million Xbox One sold or whatever, or because Microsoft uses engagement numbers and percentages and things like that instead of units sold, so people kind of flip out and always go to the negative because they think no news is bad news, which isn't always the case, because just look at Halo 5. People thought that was a big flop, and then Frank O'Connor comes out and says, no, we did 5 million in the first 3 months. I mean, that's pretty damn huge. And you also have to look at this fact, right? If there is 53 million PS4s out there, that's significantly more, probably 15 to 20 million more than Xbox Ones. So these games should sell like that, and I'm glad, and I knew that that would sell very well, and it's one of my favorite franchises, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's some hyperbole involved with, you know, some of the issues that I had with the game, which are legitimate, like bringing a long-lost brother out of nowhere. I thought was pretty ham-fisted, and then the whole crate situations that are just, I mean, they're just like little issues, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm glad it's successful, and it does help out gaming a lot, but it's probably not anything really to beat your chest over. You know, I know a lot of people like to do that. It's just for the fact of the matter is that, you know, it's like Sony said, this is bundles included and all that stuff, and they only basically had the one bundle. So I mean, the PS4 Slim, the bundle was the bundle, and there was still one of the hot items over the holiday was the original Uncharted PS4 bundle, because a lot of people wanted the standard looking PS4. So I think that says a lot. I am happy that the franchise is doing well. But I also think that, you know, obviously, even though they've said it's the last one, I don't actually believe that. I think that there's going to be more. You can't just not sell a game that sells that well at the end of the day. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it sold that much? Sony is kind of shady with some of their numbers. I'm not sure I 100% believe this. I'm not sure I 100% think that they've actually legitimately sold this many. Like I said, it's the bundles that they're counting as well, and that speaks for itself. So sound off, comment, rate, subscribe, all that good jazz. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.